Launch the Slayer.
Ladies and Slayers, welcome to another one. It's your man Spectral Slayer, and boy, do I have a ghastly early Halloween video for your viewing pleasure. This is all the Doom the Dark Ages weapons, ranked from quote unquote worst to best. Now, yes, this is very much so my subjective opinion, but after seeing everyone's opinion on Reddit, Discord, YouTube, and Facebook, this is where I've stepped in to see if I can compile all the guns and rank them in precise order, from the least effective to the most. Not to say that any of the guns in this game are somehow bad; all of them are awesome. But which ones reign supreme and which ones are left on the back burner for your absolute slaughterfest of the foul horde? Well, let's take a look at what we got. Welcome to the Dark Ages.
Impact confirmed. The Slayer has been activated.
Kicking things off hot and spicy, we have the Rail Spike Shredder at number 12. As much as I love this fully automatic weapon, there are fully automatic weapons in this game that just do the job a little better, but for what it's worth, the Shredder is not only a very useful, very handy weapon that delivers a consistent fire rate and a more than adequate range for its projectiles, but its upgrades also lend to nefarious purpose against the hordes of hell. As you'll see, not only can you lodge barbs into heavier demons, such as the Mancubus with the pincushion ability, and then turn them into frag grenades essentially, but with the ricochet, you can not only damage the heavy demon you stick your shield saw into, but the enemies around you. Of course, firing faster, and then eventually launching even more barbs in a far stronger radius. A more than useful application for this awesome tool. Now, we'll get to the older brother of the class in just a minute, but the reason why that I have placed it at the bottom of the list is only because, again, while it is a more than useful tool, there are other weapons with simply better applications for them. But again, worst gun in this game, better than the best guns in other games. And the Rail Spike Shredder is still a gem, especially when you detonate big enemies and then turn other enemies into stationary turrets with the shield saw. It's fun. At number 11, we have the pride of the Sentinel's Plasma Rifle Division, the Accelerator. An awesome shock SMG that just might be one of my personal favorite plasma rifle designs. Its older brother admittedly has, well, let's just say a lot more going for it. But what keeps this gun standing out is the fact that not only does it share with a Doom Eternal the ability to pop shields, but it also has the fastest firing rate of any of the guns in the game, second only to possibly one. But there are two beautiful uses of this weapon. First is the fact that as you fire upon big enemies and concentrate your fire on them, such as the Vagary, or the Komodo, the Cosmic Baron, Cyber Demon, etc., you build charge, and therefore the Accelerator increases in its damage output all the way to the point where once you get the maximum upgrade, the Power Surge, you just deal an insane amount of damage in a concentrated manner. And of course, it works beautifully in tandem with its older brother, the Cycler, in that enemies that are shocked are dealt an increased amount of damage. Just look at that. And then, of course, the Heat Blast similarly deals a more than damage in AOE in an AOE fashion. But I'd wager that the best application for the Accelerator is in the Power Surge if you want a gun that can deliver a high damage dealing concentrated fire. And its ammo capacity is also more than sufficient to pull this off.
Okay, here we go. Top 10. And at number 10, we have the grenade launcher of the rocket class. I was honestly quite surprised when I saw that they were going to have a grenade launcher brought into Doom the Dark Ages actual single player, because we've only had the rocket launcher in the multiplayer for Doom 2016. And you can say that the sticky bombs and the explosive shots for the combat shotguns of 2016 and Eternal also are considered grenade launcher weapons, but I don't. This is a full-fledged, absolute death dealer with an impressive fire rate, high ammo capacity, and my personal favorite thing about this weapon is the fact that it has a really nice splash damage. But the real fun of this weapon actually comes from the fact that when you hit direct shots to enemies, it releases cluster bombs that not only do a lot of damage, but also as you upgrade it, it takes only a few shots less to get those cluster shots. And as you can see, the arch that the grenade launcher provides also makes it more ideal for enemies that throw shields, like the Armored Mancubus, the Imp Stalker, and the regular Imps. So, a fair weapon, but we can do better.
Okay, I might actually get into a lot of trouble for this, but I'm doing it. Number 9, the combat shotgun. Arguably the best combat shotgun in Doom's entire catalog. The original sword to the Slayer's shield since the beginning of the game. What makes it stand out is the fact that not only is it semi-auto instead of pump action, it has a consistent fire rate, healthy ammo capacity, and a nice tight choke to apply more damage in a straightforward line instead of a spread. So you can definitely deal more damage to a single enemy like the Imp Stalker or the fodder demons and kill them with a single shot. But the upgrading utilities for this particular shotgun is in the fact that you can leech armor from heavy demons. Eventually, when you upgrade it enough, you can also farm fodder demons for armor. But it also has a nice little amalgamation of the Eternal Full Auto mod and Doom 2016's Charged Burst mod for their respective combat shotguns. In that you can fire a triple shot of buckshot at a single target, mostly ideal for Hell Knights and Mancubi. I honestly can't recommend it against super heavies. I would leave that shotgun armor for, let's just say, a weapon that you'll see on this list a little later. But overall, this combat shotgun is a masterpiece and arguably one of the most fun shotguns I've ever played with in a game, period. Plus, I mean, come on, the sound design for this beauty is it's just so metal.
Okay, I admit that I deleted by accident the animation when you pick it up. But at number 8, the plasma rifle Cycler. While the accelerator was a glorious introduction to the plasma rifle class, the Cycler improves in pretty much every way. While it doesn't have the same fire rate of the accelerator, it does have the ability to encase enemies in shock, and it deals more damage. What I think really stands out about it is that while it does share a similar capability of the accelerator in that you can ignite enemies with the shock and amplify the amount of damage that you deal, it just does it better. Plus, just look at that design. It really does look like the nail gun, the super nail gun from Quake. And then as you can see, just look at that damage output. Look at it. It's beautiful. And the more enemies that you have shocked, and the more enemies that you kill while they still have the shock afflicted onto them, the longer you will be able to sustain the shock effect and the power surge capabilities of the weapon. The Cycler is, if anything else, one of my all-time favorite fully automatic weapons in any game. And just chaining lightning and stunning enemies, it's just so good. Now, while the Railspike Shredder impresses with the fully automatic capabilities, it is the Impaler that absolutely dominates once you have it in your hand. At number 7, this weapon is just insane. As you can see, if you hit an enemy with a well-timed, well-placed final shot, you will send them flying to the other side of the arena. It is awesome. And as the name implies, you can quite literally impale enemies to a wall. You can destroy, and yeah, just look at this. Just look at it. It shoots colossal rail spikes that deal massive amounts of damage, and then when you upgrade it, you can not only slow down time to carefully and meticulously plan your next shot, but you can also amplify the next shot with its brother upgrade with successful melee strikes and parries. So it is definitely a weapon that is better suited for not just large and slow moving enemies like the Pinky Rider or the Mancubi, but also if your aim is good, if your aim is more than adequate, hitting a Whiplash, a Revenant, and Imp Stalkers with it also will not only kill the enemies, but it will send them flying to the other side of the room and nail them to walls as if you were crucifying them. This is the torture weapon of Doom: The Dark Ages, and it's perfect. At number 6, the most metal weapon of them all, the Skull Crusher Pulverizer. A lot of people had a lot to say after the game came out about it not being up to the standards, at least for them. But for me, just pelting demons with hit after hit, wave after wave of fragmented skulls and bones is just blissful. And once you upgrade it with the haste rune, just look at this. Just look at the beauty. The only complaint I have about this about the polarizer is the fact that I don't know, maybe 25 more skulls to grind up and fire, just a little more ammo, just a little bit, and then it would be gold. At least for me. But other than that, though, this weapon is amazing. The flay ability to increase the amount of fragments that you fire out just makes crowd control the easiest it could ever be. And especially with the haste, not only allowing you to move faster, but of course your fire rate to increase dramatically as well. This is probably one of the most fun guns I've ever been able to use in the game. Some people will say it just looks cool, but it doesn't actually do much. I beg to differ. As you can see, clearing out the entire battlefield with it is just beautiful. Now, I will say, the more ideal usage for it that I have found personally is by using Fodder Demon to harvest and charge up the haste ring. But overall, just a wonderful gun.
It's awake, but it can't free itself.
Excessive ordnance is now required.
For the past 3 games, we've been told your affinity for guns is apparent. And then in Eternal, we were told the power source to the BFG 10,000 should be of interest to you as well. Well, the excessive ordnance is excessive. Ladies and gentlemen, at number 5, I give you the only gun in the game so far that is too heavy, too large to wield with just one hand. This is the Ballistic Force Crossbow, otherwise known as the Big Fucking Crossbow. Equipped with the Eldritch Lance, just point, aim, fire, and boom. Everything that was a problem is gone. It's beautiful. Arguably, and I know that I say arguably a lot, but at least for me, this might be the most fun super weapon I've ever got to use. A medieval BFG, and what better weapon to use and base it off of than a crossbow? The crowd controller, the one-hitter quitter. It is the weapon that has saved my bacon in many Repertorium runs, and I am not ashamed to admit it. Now, in the game, you're definitely going to want to save it for some of the greater encounters that'll come near the end. But as it stands, this weapon is just pure power, and that's all you need to have a good time. And number 4, the superior to the grenade launcher, the rocket launcher. Now, I'm gonna call it best rocket launcher in Doom. I don't care what you say. Okay, maybe that's not true. Yes, I do care. But the direct damage, the splash damage, and the upgrades for this rocket launcher make it arguably, yeah, I know I say arguably a lot in this video, the best rocket launcher in all of Doom. And it doesn't need lock-on burst or remote detonation to do what it needs to do. Instead, this is the first rocket launcher where you truly do get to spam it like a rifle. Every successful parry after the first upgrade allows you to use the rocket launcher, spam it, and as long as you stay within the splash damage radius, you will leech health from your enemies and the splash damage itself. But its other two abilities, increasing the size of the splash damage and increasing the next shot when successfully parrying a ranged attack, a ranged power surge attack, will empower the next shot and make it even faster. A most ideal tool to use against the Cosmic Realm Cacodemon, and especially the Cosmic Baron with its psionic ranged abilities. As a whole, this rocket launcher not only kicks a lot of ass and does a lot of damage, but man, when you hit those parries and realize that you won't be taking self damage, it just hits on a whole different level. Born from the mollusk swamps of the Carthul marshes, at number 3, we have our first Reaver weapon, the Chain Shot, an Eldritchian weapon of pure terror. A light attack simply kills a demon on impact, but a charged attack is most ideal for heavier demons like the Imp Stalker, and the splash damage cannot be denied. The best application for the Chain Shot is not just in its AoE. Perfect for dismembering even the foulest of foes, but every successful parry, provided you've upgraded the Chain Shot sufficiently, will guarantee that the Reaver Chain Shot immediately charges the Chaos Sphere, allowing you to hit a charged attack every time you parry. Mostly ideal for enemies that get in close, like the Cyber Demon, the Cosmic Baron, and when they do get close, even the Cosmic Cacodemon. But the funnest part about the weapon is that, according to the lore, you have to be insane to wield this weapon. So, if we didn't have to confirm it before, yes, the Slayer is quite insane. It's an Eldritchian weapon. What else should we have expected? But yes, this tool is so good that giving it words simply will not do it justice. It can break and shatter armor, immediately immobilize even the heaviest of demons, and again, when going toe-to-toe with an enemy that has multiple parries in a single succession, it is most ideal to burst out the Chain Shot and destroy them. Okay, this was tough, picking between 1 and 2. But at number 2, the Skull Crusher Ravager. A weapon so awesome, so dangerous, so stupidly overpowered that it actually had to step in and nerf it. Imagine that. But what makes this gun so dangerous? Well, if you aren't convinced by its insane firing rate and having almost twice the ammo of the Polarizer, it has some insane properties. It is the boss clearer, and when I first played the game, I understood exactly why it was designated as such. The fact that it chews through an enemy's health pool as if it were a tissue paper to a dog. But more importantly, the fact that it too has the ability to drain health from enemies upon concentrated fire. And then, even after that, when you max out the Ravager, it also leeches ammo from the enemy. So not only are you getting ammo back, you're also getting health back as well as you concentrate the fire on an enemy. So this weapon is definitely more ideal for larger enemies that don't move around too much, such as the Caco Demon, such as the Mancubus, the Cyber Demon, and even bigger enemies like the Agadon Hunter and the Cosmic Baron. What I also appreciate about the Ravager is the fact that this proves that the Argent people simply said one wasn't enough. The Pulverizer, a more than beautiful weapon to use in a wider space, but why not have a weapon that also has concentrated fire instead? So they built the Ravager. Simply stunning. But again, if you are in a pinch and you need health as fast as possible, this is more than a sufficient weapon for you to utilize. And against bigger enemies, just watch as their health bars drain as you concentrate your fire upon them. If you haven't already figured it out right now, there can only be one number one, and that number one goes to the Super Shotgun. Yes, while all the guns in the game have unique applications and extra powers, it is the Super Shotgun that keeps it beautifully simple. Power. And that is what you get with this absolute unit of a gun. Not only is it lever action, just like the Terminators from T2, but the amount of damage that this beauty does is simply insane. If the combat shotgun was the first sword we got in the game, this is the upgraded sword. And the sheer amount of damage that it deals from the jump, if that wasn't enough, the fact that by the end of the game, if you have it fully maxed out and upgraded, it fires even more pellets, making it even stronger. Its final form is something to be beheld. And the fact that while it, yes, has less ammo than the combat shotgun, and may not be as reliable against ranged enemies, when you stand and fight against the forces of hell with the Super Shotgun in hand, you have your parry game fully mastered. There is nothing that can stop you. So one tap, and they're done. And there you guys have it. That is the ranking for the weapons of Doom the Dark Ages. Let me know what you guys find to be either your personal favorite weapon, if you have a different ranking than I did, or if you think that some guns are good, some guns are bad. Now, let me know. Honestly, all the guns in this game are just phenomenal. The team did an exceptional job with each and every one of them, and I look forward to seeing what they do next, especially when the DLC comes out. But as it stands for me personally, I must say the Super Shotgun in this game is my favorite gun, I think, ever. Sometimes I freaking fantasize about having a lever action shotgun that is as cool as this. I wouldn't use it against anyone though, I'm just saying that right now. But it's an awesome weapon for this game and more than a worthy successor and addition to the Super Shotgun lineage of Doom. So in conclusion, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, have a safe Halloween, and I'll see y'all later. Until then, this is Spectral Slayer, signing off.